Welcome to the mid-August edition of the International Agenda presented by the BJ Show. As always, I am your host, Aidan Barry, and on the program tonight, we have the wrap of the fifth test between England and India. We have a look at the premier motorsports categories of the world in the mid-season breaks as they are approaching that point or at that point right now. And we have a look towards the upcoming NFL season, and I will give you my division winners for NFL season 2025. Let's get straight into the program. The fifth test of the series between England and India for 2025, kicking off their World Test Championship campaigns for the next 2 years, was at 2-1 in favour of England, where we left off with a drawn test in there as well. Now we get to the fifth and deciding test played at the Oval. England looking to win the series, India looking to play for a win and tie the series at 2-0. We'll get straight into the scorecard. So India take up the bat first, and they have, a rather poor innings from their standard. They only make 224, and it was a very uncharacteristic showing from India in this early phase of the game. England bowlers doing a lot of work. Gus Atkinson picking up 5 for England of 21.4 overs, 33 runs at an economy of 1.5 for Gus Atkinson. There's a great bowling there by him. Big scores for India. Sides with Harrison, 38. Karun Nair, 57. There was a 26 from Washington Sundar, and that was really the end of the scoring in a very, very British-dominated first innings of play. England now having that opportunity to respond. They come out and play quite well. They make 247, so they have a small lead at the end of the first innings. So Crawley, big scorer, 64 for England, 53 for Harry Brook as well. So scores there for England, quite strong. 43 for Ben Duckett, put his name on the list as well, and this was turning into a very bowler-friendly game at this point. Mohammad Siraj making 4 wickets for India, and Pradesh Krishna with 4 of his own as well. So Siraj, dangerous as always here against England. Now we move to India's second innings, and it was a very, very different story from the first. Yashasvi Jaiswal, 118 to get us underway. Then Rahul made 7, 11 for Sue Harrison, a 66 for Akash Deep. Then we have 53 for Jadeja and 53 for Washington Sundar. So some good scoring there from the lower end of India's order as they looked to be a very dominant team. Josh Tongue, 5 wickets in this innings. Gus Atkinson with 3 of his own there. So India here making a score of 396. We go to England's final inning. They need 373 to win the match and the series. Very, very disappointing start from the British openers. English openers, Crawley, 14. Ben Duckett, better start, 54. Pope, 27. Style not capitalised. Root and Brook steady for England, 105 for Root, 111 for Brook, as England look to find a way back into the game, but it just was not there. They go down one after the other relatively quickly from there. 5 for Bethel, 2 for Smith, 9 for Overton, 17 for Atkinson, and a duck for Tongue. Chris Wokes not out, not facing a ball, although he was injured in this second innings, having his arm in a sling, and would have had to bat with one hand, but didn't face a ball in the inning. Wickets for India, Mohammad Siraj with a 5, Pradesh Krishna with 4. England coming 6 runs short here as India win this match by 6 runs and they draw the series at 2-all. The World Test Championship does continue on, though at the moment we have play between New Zealand and Zimbabwe in Zimbabwe that I will cover in the next episode. India will look for a better result in their next series. England disappointed with the draw they are coming down under for the Ashes, which I'm pretty sure Ben and I will have some Ashes specials for you to look forward to. But that is what we have for cricket for this episode of the international agenda. There is plenty more cricket coming up over the summer, and we will be keeping an eye on cricket across the world and in Australia on the BJ Show. Now it's time to get into motorsport, where Formula One is at their mid-season break. We are also at the mid-season points of the WRC season, the MotoGP season, and the NASCAR Sprint Cup, or the NASCAR Cup as it is now, is getting closer to the finale, to the sprint at the end of the year, the final 10 races for all the glory. And we're getting into that right now. NASCAR Cup is where we're going to start off here as we look towards what used to be called the Chase for the Cup, or the Chase for the Sprint Cup, now called the NASCAR Playoffs. Currently leading is William Byron I'm not going to worry about the points because the points do reset at each phase of the playoffs, so it's about just getting in. William Byron first, Chase Elliott second, Carl Larson third, Denning in fourth, Christopher Bell had a great start to the year, he's in fifth, Tyler Reddick hanging around in sixth, Ryan Blaney consistently positioning for seventh, Chase Briscoe doing well for eighth, Alex Bowman in there probably is a bit of a surprise for ninth, but great results across the year for Alex Bowman. I don't think he has a win though. No, I cannot see a win for Alex Bowman. Then we have Bubba Wallace after winning the Indy Brickyard race in 10th, Chris Buescher in 11th, Joey Logano in 12th. Moving down the list, players who may be on the outside at this stage: Kyle Busch 15th, Ty Gibbs 16th, AJ Allmendinger 18th, Brady Keselowski 19th. Great year for Josh Berry, he's 21st as well. Then Shane Van Gisbergen is in 25th. He has 3 wins in road course races at Mexico, Chicago, and Sonoma. There is another road course race at the Watkins Glen track coming up on the weekend. That will be another chance for him to pick up a win, pick up points. Again, it is going to be a positional thing where the wins are the tiebreaker for getting in, and then it goes to total points. So the more wins Shane gets on the board here, the more chances he has to be in the playoffs. From the ovals of America to the dirt of the world, we move to the World Rally Championship in our next segment here for a look at the WRC season so far. We're going to go through all the race winners as they happen. The first rally of the year that was just earlier in the season was the Rally of Monte Carlo, won by Sebastian Ogier. Then we had the Rally of Sweden, run by Elfyn Evans. Safari Rally Kenya, run by Elfyn Evans. Rally Islas Canaries, run by Kalle Rovanpana. Rally Portugal, run by Sebastian Ogier. Rally Sardinia, run by Ogier. The Acropolis Rally, run by Ott Tanak. Rally Estonia, run by Oliver Solberg. And Rally Finland, run by hometown man his time countryman Kalle Rovanpana. Now, what that means for the championship standings is it was a lot closer than when we last looked at the World Rally Championship standings. We now have a very, very close-knit top 4 with 5 rallies to go. We have Paraguay, Chile, Europe, Japan, and Saudi in the back end of the year. Currently leading in first place is our Brit of rally, Elfyn Evans, 176 points. Second is Kalle Rovanpana, who is on 173 points, only 3 points the difference. In third, we have Sebastian Ogier on 163 points, and in fourth, we have Ott Tanak also on 163 points. So that is your top four. That will be the four competing for the Rally Championship title this year with those 5 remaining races. It's anyone's ball game. It is going to be a very, very intense close for the World Rally Championship Series, and I cannot wait to see how it pans out, and I will keep you updated on everything happening in the world of rally as we move towards the end of the season. Now we jump over to MotoGP, the premier class of motorcycle racing. Unfortunately, in MotoGP, there is no real contest in terms of the Drivers' Championships, as Marc Marquez is already 120 points up at the midway point of the season. He's won 8 of the 12 races available and is absolutely cruising at this point. His nearest rival is his brother Alex, who is, as I said, 120 points behind. So I think we can pretty much close the book on MotoGP and say that barring any major injuries early in the restart of the season for Marc Marquez, he will be your 2025 MotoGP World Champion. And now to cap off our view of motorsport at the mid-year and mid-season points, we have Formula One Championship currently led by Australian Oscar Piastri over teammate at McLaren Lando Norris by 9 points. Now, the thing with this is with them both being at the same team, it is hard to keep the pace as this goes on. We've seen it plenty of times before. Senna and Prost, Lewis and Nico Rosberg, Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber. We see this happen before and it's going to happen again. I can guarantee it. Someone will be left disappointed. So letting them race could be a good solution for the short term once Formula One returns, but in the long run, it could really hinder not so much the performance aspect of the team, but the relationship between their two drivers. And we've seen what happens to teams when that happens, unfortunately. So Oscar Piastri is leading on 284 points, Lando 275 points. We are getting close to that point where I believe that McLaren will have to choose which one do they back in this year towards their Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen sitting in the background, 187 points. I don't think the Red Bull's good enough to catch 100 points in the McLarens unless they turn to absolute carnage against each other. But it is now on to McLaren to choose which driver they want to be the champion for this year, whether it is Oscar because he's currently leading or whether it's Lando because he is the British driver of their team. We will have to see how that goes. But Formula One is getting very interesting back into the year. It will be very much like the WRC. We're going to have a very, very close back end of the year here as well. My feeling is that they will back whoever comes out of the European swing with 3 more European races to go. Whoever comes out of the European swing on top after Netherlands, Italy, and Azerbaijan will probably be the one to get the team's vote of approval as we go into the back end of the year with Singapore, Texas, Mexico, Sao Paulo, Las Vegas, Qatar, and the season finale at Abu Dhabi. We will keep you updated here on the International Agenda with all the Formula One news, and we will see how this season plays out as we head towards that time of the year where money is made, cashed checks sent, and hearts are broken. Now it's time to have a look at my early predictions for the 2025 NFL season. I am going to give you my division winners for the 8 divisions of the NFL. So let's get straight into that. We are going to start in the AFC with the AFC East. And I think this division comes down to, if anyone can hold out early in the season, but the Bills far and away first choice team to win this division by a country mile, probably daylight second as well. Josh Allen really showing improvement in the last couple of years, just needs to get over the Chiefs in the AFC title game match, as we say, with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens there as well have to get over the Chiefs in the AFC title game if they want to go and compete for the Super Bowl. So AFC East will go to the Buffalo Bills, Now we move to the AFC West. In the AFC West, there is also really only one team in contention, and you know what they say, you have to deal with the Chiefs. They are the team to beat in this division. Pat Mahomes is going to be looking for another ring this year, losing the Super Bowl last season to the Eagles. So Chiefs, easy takeout winners of that division. Moving down to the AFC North. This one's a little bit tighter. We got the Steelers having Aaron Rodgers. Mike Tomlin's also never had a sub-500 year. The Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, always a very good quarterback, always very dangerous when he gets moving, gets rolling on win streaks. And then the Lamar Jackson-led Baltimore Ravens. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this year it goes to Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Then in the AFC South, this one should be a very, very good division to watch. Not so much for the division winning, that will be the Houston Texans, but I believe that the Colts with Anthony Richardson and the Jags with Trevor Lawrence could definitely be in and around the wildcard race come the end of the year. Other wildcard teams would probably have to be looking at teams such as the Chargers, the Ravens, the Steelers, and possibly also the Dolphins out of the AFC. Now we move to the NFC. We start with the NFC East, and this one will go to the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. They have a division where they've got obviously tough opponents in the Commanders. The Cowboys are always going to be around the mark, and the New York Giants looking to find a way forward from their recent slump of form over the last couple of years. Now with Russell Wilson at the helm there at quarterback, but the Eagles will win this division. Commanders I expect to be around the wild card chase. NFC West, Brock Purdy and the 49ers are my pick in this division. Also having a look there at the LA Rams. They're a team that probably are falling back a little bit, but definitely still in contention. So Rams again, probably a wildcard chase team, but the 49ers winning this division. Now we come to the NFC North, and it's a very, very close contest between the Lions and the Packers. Based on what I saw last season, I am going to take the Lions again this year. They lost so many bodies at the back end of last season that they found a way to get through as far as they could. So everyone back healthy this year. Hopefully they don't have a back end injury collapse like they had last year. They should be the winners out of the NFC North. Packers very, very close behind them though. And now we move to where I have a vested interest, the NFC South with my Carolina Panthers. We share the South with the Falcons, the Saints, and the Buccaneers. Unfortunately for us Panthers fans, I feel like it could be the Buccos who go and win the division again this year with Baker Mayfield. They are a very, very good team. They're probably a lot further ahead than most of the other teams in the division in terms of their development. They're probably right at the doorstep. The Saints have fallen off recently since the retirement of Drew Brees. The Falcons have been struggling to find their quarterback, and the Panthers have never been the same since 2011, drafting Cam Newton, going to the Super Bowl in 2015, Cam Newton's MVP year. Ever since then, the Panthers have been on a downwards slide. But the Buccaneers have stayed strong. They've come up. Tom Brady got them there. Baker Mayfield got over there. They are a team who could be quite dominant in that division this year. I mean, it is anyone's ball game though, but I just feel like the Buccaneers are the team to beat in the NFC South. We will see how the NFC season and the AFC season shakes out in the NFL once I have a better look at the teams over the first couple of weeks and through the preseason. I will keep you updated on any rolling changes to my predictions. Have a look at the wildcard race as the season progresses as well, but that is where we'll leave it. Maybe also next time on the program we will have a look at predicting our top 12 for the college football playoff for 2025. Thank you very much for listening to the mid-August episode of the International Agenda presented by the BJ Show. As always, I have been your host, Aidan Barry. It's been a pleasure sharing the news of the international sports world with you. Thank you very much for listening, and I will be back next fortnight with some more news on the International Agenda. Good night.